Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to show you guys how I've been using Tarte Shape Tape to get good results under my eyes and on my face. Shape Tape has been hyped up on YouTube so much, and I feel like I've been seeing in comments and just various places that people have tried it in real life and it hasn't worked for them for whatever reason. And I don't know if people have tried applying it with the Big Doe Foot applicator and all down the face in a big triangle, the way they see in a lot of YouTube tutorials and demos and get ready with me's, and it's just not working that way, or what the reason is. As I've gotten older, not only do I have to deal with huge dark circles under my eyes, which are genetic that I've had forever, but I also have dryness and texture issues, and I have to deal with wrinkling under the eyes and finding a concealer that won't crease. This really fits the bill for me for that, and I feel like if it works for me, it should work for other people. So there is some technique to this too, and it's not the same technique that I used in my dark circles tutorial that I did way early when I first started my channel. I say way, it was only a few months ago. I'll link that below, but that was when I was using the Tarte Maracuja concealer on a regular basis, and I still love that concealer. It was my holy grail for years, and I just ended up replacing it with this because I kind of find that this is a little bit more versatile for me for all over face concealing. It just doesn't mess with my makeup underneath. It's a little quicker for me to use. It sets quickly. It's a little less fussy for me, but I do find that both of them conceal beautifully if you have super dark circles and or texture issues. I'm not sure why this tends to work for some people with texture issues better than others. And maybe it is just a technique thing. And so that's why I want to do this video today, and I'm hoping that it will help some of you out. I have been hovering between light medium on the face, and I finally got my hands on light medium honey, and that's what I've been using under my eyes. Prior to that, I was having to mix light medium with light medium sand under my eyes, and I don't have to do that anymore. So yay. So if you are someone who has kind of struggled with getting the precise, correct application of Tarte Shape Tape under the eyes, or you just want to see a way to use it all over the face, just keep watching. The first thing I want to tell you is that if you're going to be using this under the eyes, you need to use an eye cream first. Even if you think you have the most incredibly moisturized under eye area, use an eye cream first. I feel like this will get a little drying under the eyes as the day goes on if you don't use an eye cream. And I have been using Kiehl's avocado eye cream for years and years. It's a little bit thick and emollient. It's almost gone. So I decided to grab a couple of eye creams to try to replace it with, just for fun. And I grabbed the Tarte, go figure, Maracuja Sea Brighter Eye Treatment. I've not tried this before. It's very thick, but I'm liking it so far for under a makeup application. I also grabbed the Mario Badescu Hyaluronic Eye Cream. I like this as well, but it has a little bit more slip to it. Either way, whatever eye cream you choose to apply it right after you get out of the shower and before you do anything else, so it has time to sink in. I get out of the shower, apply my face products, my eye cream, and then put anything I need to put in my hair, do anything I need to do before I sit down and do my makeup. That way my eye cream has time to sink in. So that is where I'm going to start the demo, is after I have done all that, wandered around, gotten my coffee, and before I have put on any concealer or corrector or anything like that. Okay, so now that you have given your eye cream official time to sink in, if you use a corrector, this is the time you're going to apply it. I do use a corrector. I like Benefit Erase Paste because it's a little bit creamier and emollient, and if you have any texture or dryness under your eyes, I just like this one. I used to use Bobbi Brown's, and I just found that it was a little bit drying for me. So this is what it looks like. I use number 2, and it's just kind of a peachy tone, which I find helps cancel out that purple or dark shadow you have. And I just lightly dip my finger in, maybe that much. And sometimes this is the step that people have trouble with, and it's really just a light layer. You don't really gob corrector under your eye. I just put it right where the discoloration is, and that's it. So this isn't going to be spread all over like you would highlight. This is just going in those dark recessed areas. A lot of us have a little bit of redness right there in the outer corner, especially as we get older, and you can put it there too. And you can see I just really lightly put that on. That already helped a great deal. I'm even patting it in more so that there's not a ton of corrector on there, just enough. As for the Shape Tape, I have light medium that I like to conceal on my face, and I have light medium honey that I've been liking under my eyes. I have used this one for face though. I'm gonna start with the light medium honey and go under my eyes. I don't use the wand. This wand is just way too big in my opinion for the amount of coverage that you get with this concealer. If you watch a lot of tutorials, they take this thing and just swipe it all underneath the eyes. I take it and just put it on the back of my hand like that. I have a decent amount, just whatever was on the wand is on the back of my hand. Then you use just any concealer brush that you like to use. This is an old Stila number 26 brush. I don't even know if they still make this thing. And I've used one that's half the size. It really doesn't matter. You can use your finger if you can get enough control with your finger. I personally prefer to use a brush. And just dip it in here and get some product on here. That much is fine. And I like to just dab a tiny bit in my inner corner, not a lot. And then I take a tiny bit here. So I really just dab it right where the hollows are in this outer corner, and then here. You can use the mini beauty blenders. I like to use just the tip of this. I kind of pinch it, but I don't know how much good that's doing actually. And then I just start dabbing. And I do the inner corner first. And then I go all around. And as I'm blending, I kind of will take it down in this area and up, but you'll get enough coverage from where you put it to take it up towards your eye. So that's why I say, you know, you guys that have seen my videos, you've seen that clearly my dark circles are covered, and this is what I do pretty much every day. So then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye, but that's not the final step for each eye. Now I do have a little bit more darkness on this eye, so I do take a little bit extra just because I have some veins here that aren't over here. And I do like to take it all the way out because I don't want just that white panda eye effect going, because you do want kind of a highlighted effect, but without it looking so white. So now I'm gonna take it in those darkest recessed areas that I personally have. Yours may be in a different area, or you may be fine with what you just did. But you can already see that made a huge difference. So I'm gonna take it right here because this is my darkest part, and I'm just gonna dab a tiny bit more there, and I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more here. It's all about layers, just like with foundation, it's all about layers. And I'm just gonna dab a little bit more here just to get a little bit more highlighted effect on that cheekbone. And then here, I just want a little bit more lightness in that inner corner. And this is when I'm gonna take it down here just to get a little bit more of a highlighted effect. Can you see that made a difference? Okay, and that is it for the concealing. So now I'm gonna set it. Almost all the time I use Laura Mercier's Secret Brightening Powder. You can use whatever you wanna use. I personally find I need something super finely milled that's just going to really make that beautiful, beautiful finish. You can use the regular Laura Mercier translucent powder. This works well too. I just like this a little bit better. Those are my preferred powders to use. I've tried the e.l.f. HD setting powder that's supposed to mimic the Secret Brightening Powder by Laura Mercier. I just don't like that as much. But there is this e.l.f. contouring palette that has setting powder in it, and it works pretty well. Finding the right setting powder is good too, because even though this stuff sets pretty quickly, I find I get very creasy right under here. Even while I'm talking to you, I'm gonna have to pat this out before I set it. That's just the way I am blessed. So just right up under here. If that happens, just take your beauty blender and tap it out. So I'm going to take this beauty blender and I'm going to just kind of lightly roll it in all of this powder, and it's going to look like this, which is scary. But I'm just going to take it under my eye, and I know this looks like I'm baking, but I'm not. And I'm going to dust it away immediately, because I don't want to bake, because that's when you get all that texture under your eye as the day goes on, is when you bake. So just dab it on and dust it away. So you can do that, or to set, you can just take your little brush, dab it in there. Let me make sure I don't have creases again. And you can just set it that way if you want. You can do either way that you're comfortable with. I personally like the sponge method better. I just feel like it looks a little bit better and more seamless under the eye. That's just me. That is the under eye portion. I've also told you guys that sometimes I do take this down my nose because I have a deviated septum, and I like to sometimes make it appear a little bit straighter. And I will just take this right down like so, and I'm pretty sure I just did that very crooked because I'm not at my normal angle. I like using the Shape Tape for this because it never messes up my makeup underneath. It's really good for contouring and shaping, and it does conceal what's underneath it. So like I have a couple of sunspots on my nose. It does a pretty decent job of concealing those, and sometimes I just get them a little bit more while I'm there. But you know, I don't do anything super dramatic here, but sometimes that's just something that I do. You can also use it as a face concealer. It works beautifully. It really does conceal whatever is underneath really nicely. So again, I take the wand and I dab it onto my hand like that, and I dip a brush. I just find this is so much better and gives you so much more control. I have an old red mark under here, a sunspot and another sunspot, a couple spots here that I just dab. I kind of like to work in sections on the face because it does set, not immediately, but rather quickly. Just bouncing that beauty blender, it works really, really well. I think I've mentioned this before, that as we get older, our lip line kind of starts to fade, and I find that I have some little uneven areas on my lips. So I take it underneath and kind of define that lip area a little bit more. Before I put on my lip liner. It's just something that I do sometimes. I don't do it all the time. I'm gonna finish my makeup and I'll come back and chat with you guys. So that's pretty much it for the application. It's not difficult, but it's a lot different than a lot of other YouTube channels show it. It doesn't use the applicator and it uses a lot less product. And I think that's all you need to get good coverage, especially if you are not 20 something and you do have some texture and creasing underneath the eyes, or if you have any dryness and you're concerned with things getting wrinkly or creasy as the day goes on. So if you try that out and it works for you, let me know in the comments below. Or if you try it out and it doesn't work for you, let me know in the comments below. But hopefully some of the other things that I do with Shape Tape, which it's not complicated stuff, but it hopefully will keep it from just sitting in your drawer gathering dust if the under eye concealing doesn't work for you. I was really skeptical about it at first, and I just love it. Thank you so much for watching this video today. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're not following me on my social media, I'll put those on the screen and I'll link them in the description box below. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.